Hello and welcome to Season A, the platform where we speak truth to power. Just wanted to touch on the amazing success of the Nigerian women, Yorubas, Igbos, and we want to recognize what they're doing. This in no way means that I've forgotten about my self-determination for Yoruba people. Absolutely not. But we are celebrating them. We recognize the efforts that they put in, and to even make the case, the federal government of Nigeria have not paid them, and that is what we're talking about. The federal government of Nigeria have not paid. Even Ian Wright has had to chip in and say the federal government must pay them. I'll see if I can even dig up that video. In fact, I'm going to try and dig up that video. 1 second. Yes, so as stated, Ian Wright, Super Falcons, pay them. Arsenal legend Ian Wright tells NFF, and that's the point I'm trying to make here. When we're talking about believing in one Nigeria cannot even pay the wages of these girls who are doing fantastic work. So you can see why I'm totally justified in going for self-determination. I'm unashamed about that. Because one Nigeria doesn't, they treat the people who are sovereigns as slaves. And that is why we are saying what we're saying. Again, I'm dropping this in the middle of all of the discussions as well. You need to know that you're a sovereign and you need to begin to exercise your powers collectively. Let us go further a little bit more into that discussion. At every level, at every point, I'll be bringing this out because we need to change our mindset. It's about waking up our mindset, recognizing the power we possess, and using those powers collectively to hold our governors to account. So, to that end, let us do this. Let us just get this information to you because we always want you to know those things. It's very important. I've been doing a series of broadcasts that has focused a lot on that recently. So let me show you what I mean. So as I'm doing this, I want you to know that you are a sovereign. You possess powers to hold your governors to account, and it is time to use those powers. It's not being rude. You possess those powers, and that's why you have it there. So you see, let me just move this a little bit here, so I want you to be able to see. Now, so you see Ian right there. Earlier, Nigeria's head coach Randy Waldrum had revealed some players are owed per diem and bonuses from over 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And you're talking about one Nigeria. What is your definition of one Nigeria? When one Nigeria is refusing to pay the wages of people working for the country, but yet politicians are looting billions, not in jail. They are not in jail. And you're talking about one Nigeria. Really? Really? These girls deserve more. They won a fantastic game. So, kudos to Ian Wright. Ian Wright is absolutely right. 2 years wages. So great. Well, so Ian Wright is there and our ladies doing well. I celebrate them. Arsenal legend Ian Wright has called out the Nigerian Football Federation to do the needful by paying Super Falcons their bonuses. These and the culture that the Nigerian Football Federation is doing, it mirrors what the government is doing when they hold the pay of the wages of staff of workers. It mirrors it. There's no difference. This is a systemic bad governance. And when we talk about this, people go, "Oh no, you're doing this." You need to understand that Nigeria is there oppressing the people they're meant to serve. And that's why I put this on the screen. They're not paying the wages. It says here, and I want you to recognize that you are a sovereign. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That means that we're sovereigns. As sovereigns, we certainly do not support any government who derives powers and authority from us from treating our people like this. And we need to speak up about it. That's the point of what I'm trying to make here. Section 14(2)(c). We have the power to participate in our governance. The participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. When we see this kind of thing, we can no longer be quiet. Because why? We are sovereigns. We need to exercise those powers. And that is the point that is being made here. Let's read on. Kudos again to Ian Wright. Honestly, I couldn't, fantastic the way he intervened and shamed the Nigerian Football Federation. But it's a systemic bad governance that those governing bodies appoint, that the government ultimately appoints people into, do exactly as the government does. withhold the pay of the staff. 2 years. We should be outraged. And as citizens, we need to call it out. It is our right. We're sovereigns. We are all individually sovereigns, collectively sovereigns. And we need to begin to exercise our powers to hold our governors to account. There should be no ifs and buts. We should not be accepting bad governance because we are sovereigns. Now let's carry on. So, the players and football body were at odds before the tournament over unpaid bonuses, with senior members of the squad reportedly threatening to boycott the opener against Canada. But just after the Super Falcons stunned Australia in a Group B game at the 2023 World Cup, the former English forward asked the NFF to pay the girls' bonus. Pay them, Nigeria Football Federation. Wright, who is following the New Zealand and Australia tournament, tweeted. Earlier, Nigeria's head coach, Randy Waldom, had revealed some players were owed per diem bonuses from 2 years ago. Up until now, about 3 weeks ago, I had been owed 14 months salary. Then they paid 7 months salary, he claimed. This is part of what the government do. They don't pay the wages of people. It's a culture. It's a terrible culture that we need to address. As sovereigns, this should not be happening in our name. It shouldn't. Now, the 60-year-old tasked the federation to give an account of the 960,000 FIFA paid to the NFF for the country's preparation for the World Cup. Need I say more? You're reading it on screen. Need I say more? When we come and talk, people go, oh, no, you're being this, you're this, you're. No, give them a chance, and this, and the people seem to think you're making it up. Well, there you go. They cannot account for the money, just goes missing, and this is why I keep telling you, we are sovereigns. We need to exercise those powers. We must exercise those powers. So let me just make it bigger here. So you see, it says here. So let me move it up. So the 66-year-old tasked the Federation to give an account of the $960,000 FIFA paid NFF for the country's preparation of the World Cup. You see, there's a systemic corruption. And it's because we're not exercising the powers you see on the screen collectively. I urge you, we must. Look at that. You need to exercise the powers of sovereignty. You are a sovereign. You watching me. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. And we need to participate in our governance. We need to be scrutinizing everything they're doing collectively, because that is our job as citizens, to monitor them, not to go to any church or any mosque. Those are distractions. We need to be monitoring the actions of our government on the hand and foot everywhere, collectively, to ensure that they comply with their own laws. And that, with failure to do so, the bodies that they now set up will carry out the same actions, bad governance, the same bad nepotic system as the government. So it impacts our lives. So you see now, as sovereigns, why we must collectively speak up, participate in our governance, hold them to account. Now, but NFF spokesman Ademola Olajire counter-accused the American, alleging the coach wanted the federation to waste its meager resources. You see, he's not answering the question. It's waste its meager resources. What do you mean waste? What do you mean waste its meager resources? So $960,000 is meager resources. Listen, while African teams were off to a disappointing start in the competition, we know when Nigeria broke the sequence with Asisat Oshoala's goal, sealing the victory over Matildas. With 4 points from 2 games, the West African lead the Group B standings. They will play Ireland in the next match and need just a draw to reach the next stage. So it's July 31st, which is tomorrow. It is billed for July 31st, 11 a.m. tomorrow. I would hopefully like to be watching that myself. We'll see how I'm probably going to be watching that. So please keep your, let's keep them on mind for tomorrow, July 31st. Today is 30th, of course. So let's keep them in mind for that. And yes, kudos once again to Wright. So let us just quickly look at what the ladies have done briefly. So give me 1 second. I'll just give you further update. 1 second. So let us listen to a clip of Asisat Oshoala, I think it is, as she talks to the press after the magnificent 3-2 win over Australia, the joint hosts for the Women's World Cup 2023. Let's have a listen. Here we go. Sorry about that. 1 second. The volume wasn't there. So here we go.
I'm a team player. I don't care the minutes I play. I'm just always ready to go out and give my 100% effort, and also to help the team get the 3 points or whatever point we need.
Yeah, Govt mentioned that you had enough coming into the game. So how are you feeling now?
I'm getting better. There was no point going 90 minutes if I can't give 100% effort. So if I have to play 20, 15, 10, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, it doesn't matter how many minutes I have to play. But whatever minutes I'm going to play, if I can give 100% effort, then I'm going to do it.
How do you feel?
So
you can see it's all
and of
over.
course I
feel so great. I feel
defender.
I feel
She
great.
scored as well,
I feel
I think.
happy. I'm happy for myself. I'm happy for my team of how far and what we've achieved so far.
When you got that goal, and you felt that, and we were afraid what was going to happen.
Like, it was crazy. Like, I was struggling to breathe. Like, I couldn't catch my breath. And they didn't know, my team, they didn't know what was happening to me. Like, they came jumping at me and all of that. It was when they realized, like, oh, they had to back up. But I'm happy I got the goal for my team. I'm happy I continued, I finished the game. So I'm good.
So, that's very, very good. That's from Channels. That was covered by Channels. So the point being made here is that, just to reiterate, 1 second again. Yeah, what I would also, again from Channels News, this is the latest update. They're about to do their training before the Ireland match, which is happening tomorrow, 11 a.m. Let us all watch it. Like I said, in watching this in no way doesn't mean that I've stopped going for Yoruba Nation. I am for Yoruba Nation, and the fact that the federal government of Nigeria and the national have this culture of not paying wages of citizens, wages of people who have worked for the government. That culture has cascaded into the National Federation, Nigerian Football Federation, and they who withhold wages. It's a culture. It is a bad culture, and it shows how one can understand why many people are not patriotic. You don't want to be patriotic to a nation that oppresses you, that withholds what is rightfully yours. And as sovereigns, we should not allow that to be something that should be a culture. We should be against it. We should be kicking up against it. We need to use our powers as sovereigns, and we are all sovereigns. Again, I'm going to reiterate. 14-2A. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. We need to use those powers. And how do you use it? It is through active participation in our governance. The participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. We need to confront this, and it has to be done collectively. In all our communities, we need to begin to actively participate in our governance, literally monitoring the actions of those in governance, because they have shown us time and again that they are unable to uphold the rule of law, to follow simple procedure, to honor agreements or promises made to we the citizens to whom sovereignty belongs. So our job, we must on a daily basis begin to monitor the actions of our government, questioning them at every level, because we need to be sure that is the only sure we can ensure that we have transparency, and with transparency it makes it impossible, virtually impossible, for corrupt practices to take place. We do not want somebody to, we just owe money, no basis, no traction. We just had somebody now saying, they in the north, somebody they owe them 250 billion naira and they want them paid, and there is no substance. That is what we the citizens need to be doing. Before any money is paid to anybody, the government needs to justify why they're doing it, what agreement was reached. Where we need to be scrutinizing the work of the government. These are the things we should be doing. The NFA and NFF need to explain to us where the $960,000 for the competition, where's that gone? Where is it gone? But these are things that we must begin to do collectively. And this is in preparation. I'm telling you, I do not have any confidence in Nigeria, because as we speak, corruption is still rife. But the only way it will stop is our active participation in our governance, using our powers as sovereigns. I'm putting it on the screen. We need to act collectively. You haven't got time for any church or any mosque. I bet thousands of you are in the churches and the mosque, and those are there to distract your mind. You need to focus on the powers you possess. The supreme powers as sovereigns, we need to collectively use it. So let's go forward and hear the ladies here. Let's go.
The Falcons of Nigeria, they're actually having their first training session after that victory against Australia. And from what the players have said, they are really anticipating a good game against the Republic of Ireland on Monday.
Well, I think this will be the toughest game, because Ireland, they've lost 2 games. So our game against them will be their last game. So they would want to come out strong. They would want to play out everything. They would want to get a win before going. And to us, this is a game we really need to qualify. We either need a draw or a win. So I think we just have to keep the mental cool. We don't need to rush anything. We just have to take our time, do what we know how to do best. And I think we have to work harder, to get a win in this game.
Myself and my teammates, we talked to ourselves. Yes, we enjoyed the victory we had with Australia. It wasn't an easy one. At the same time, we know we have a last game to go. So we're prepared, we're focused, and we can't wait to play against them. And we have nothing in our head than to win, because I know the win is going to take us to the top. So that's our target.
We're still looking forward to this next game against Ireland. Obviously, it's going to be the most important game at this moment. We know that if we get points, that we're through to the next round, and that's been our objective for this whole tournament, is to get as far as we can. And so, just tell everyone in Nigeria, thank you for supporting us, and we're always doing our best and trying to make it as far as we can.
According to most of the players, they want Nigerians to keep supporting them, and what they want in this particular match against Republic of Ireland is a victory, knowing that a draw would take them through to the round of 16, but they want to continue momentum to maintain it and ensure that they stay unbeaten at the group stage. From the FC Lions Stadium in Brisbane, Cecilia Morgan for Channels Television.
Okay, so let me just hear that again. That the reporter from Channels, obviously. So just for
Channels Television.
So 1 minute, just to get our name in there because it's a credit to Channels.
Cecilia Morgan for Channels Television.
Okay, so Cecilia Morgan. So so what is the point I'm making here? Is Ian Wright has said they should be paid. They are owed over 2 years' wages. This is the culture of bad governance that's cascaded into the sports, and that should not be allowed. Why should people that have virtually given their all for the nation be owed money? That should not be a culture that we should actually encourage. And these are the kind of things we need to exercise our powers. We should be monitoring the actions of those in governance and those who are working, who they appoint. Remember, the NFF, they are appointed officials by the government, by those we elected. So we need to participate in this process, begin to monitor them. They need to tell us where those funds are going. And they should be paying the wages of those girls. So for tomorrow, we wish them good luck. Again, let me remind you, in wishing the Falcons good luck does not in any way diminish my clamor and my drive. Our collective drive remains our resolve for going for Yoruba Nation, because we do not trust the federal government of Nigeria to ensure that they uphold rule of law, they operate in the democratic manner, nor do we have any confidence that would actually corrupt, they would actually charge and jail corrupt government officials. Truly. And make sure they get the funds back to improve our communities that have been badly dilapidated, that have badly dilapidated infrastructures because of the malfeasance that successive governments have been involved in. So, to be able to begin to put any change to this, leaving the government leaving it to prayers and may the God help them to begin to listen to us, the people, will not work. We must activate our powers of sovereignty. The powers of sovereignty gives us the power to participate in our governance through monitoring the actions of our collective governance. And we must actively be doing that from one local government to the next. We have the power. It is time we collectively use it as sovereigns to begin to hold our governance to account. That is the only way we will get the infrastructure we will need in our communities. And we will put an end to actions where government bodies or the government themselves withhold the pay of workers or players as a form of control, as a hold over them. It is totally unacceptable. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Once again, kudos to Ian Wright for really raising his concerns. So he's asked them to pay the wages, and rightly so, and we support that. So ladies and gentlemen, please, when you get the broadcast, please do share. You are of course watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. And again, once again, credit to Channels for the broadcast, and we're able to cover a lot of the issues there. But our central point remains this: we must exercise our sovereignty, because just before I go, I will say it. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. And of course, we use those powers and authority by way of participation in our government. The participation by the people in the government shall be in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. That means that we have the power to monitor the government, to question them, to demand questions, to indeed instruct them where we want the funds to be directed to be used to improve our lives. Because why? We are sovereign. I want us all to begin to think in that manner, in that mindset. We must begin to change that from our women in the market stores, to our farmers, to our vulcanizers, to market booker owners, to all businesses. We need to begin to work together collectively to ensure our government, they comply with what our demands as sovereigns. Critically, collectively, we must ensure that the local government chairman, state house of assembly members, house of reps and senators, that we start bringing them to monthly meetings, reading to them this sovereignty, making sure that they know about 1428, to remind them to whom sovereignty belongs. They're working for us. We need to remind them. We need to refresh their mind. And I want us to begin to do this on a month-by-month basis in the local government, in our local government areas. We're going to try and see how we can get that off the ground, because we really need to take action in this way. Not about protesting, no. When you're protesting, it means that you're giving them we are begging you. No, you are telling them, you need to remind them that you are sovereigns. They don't want you to remember this. We are trying to tell you these are the powers you have. You must use it. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth power. When you get this podcast, please do share. You are, of course, watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. But back later on. Thank you and bye for now.